All right, so you're a contractor, maybe a new one, only been in the business for a short period of time, and you get a call from someone who needs some sort of home improvement project. And you can just tell talking to them that they're a little bit difficult. There's something about them that just seems like they might be a real tough one. And they need a project done. The question is, should you do it? And are you obligated? Should you do the project, and are you obligated to do that, to give them a quote and to do the work? Maybe, maybe not. That's what we're going to talk about in today's edition of Contractors. Examine this whole situation, this question of, are you obligated to do the work? Should you do work for people who you think are going to be pretty tough? And you know, this actually applies to really any sort of service industry where you might go to somebody's home and do some work. So not just home improvement contractors, but any sort of thing where you're going to go to the person's home and do some work. They're going to hire you and you're going to go do work there for them. So in doing that and maybe talking on the phone, or maybe you have a good conversation on the phone, but then you go to their house to look at the work and you realize at some point that there's something about this person which is just going to be tough. You know, you're just not getting together. There's something about their vibe that's just not working for you. You think they're going to be a real PIA, pain in the ass, or potentially could be at least. And we're all going to meet them. I certainly have. I've had a lot of great customers, almost all of them great customers, but I've had a few that were PIAs. And the question becomes, and this is something I grappled with early in my contracting career, are you obligated? Do you have to go look at the work? Do you have to give them a quote? And do you have to do it if they want to hire you? And I grappled with that because I didn't know that I had the right to say no. And after a while, I realized that, you know what? It's my business and I do. And that's the point I want to get across to you guys. If you're coming across someone that you meet that wants to hire you for work on their home, and you just think it's not going to be a great relationship, because there is a relationship going on here. You have to get along with each other for the multiple weeks you're going to be working in their home, and it's going to be a close relationship because you are going to be right in their home and they're going to be giving you money. Are you really obligated to do that sort of work? And the fact is, you're not. And again, I just didn't realize that early in my career. I just was too timid about it. So if you meet somebody along the way, whether it's the very first phone call or you go talk to them and you look at the work and you realize at that point that there's just something about this person that you're just not going to get along with, you have every right as the business owner. It's your business. You do what you want with it, and you choose what type of work you do and with who you do it with. You have every right to say, you know what, this just isn't the right situation for me. Don't blame it on them. You don't have to be rude about it. Just say, you know what, I don't think I'm the right contractor for you. I'm sure there's somebody else out there who can meet your needs better than me. Thank you for the opportunity. Good luck. And leave it at that and move on. Don't deal with them at all. Now, let's say it's a circumstance where they're not too bad, but you think they might be a little bit nitpicky and you want to take the project on. There's something about it. You just want to do it. That's fine. Just make sure you're adding something onto your bill, a PIA factor, to make sure that you take into account that they're going to be picky and they're going to be calling you on all sorts of little nitpicky things, and you're going to be spending extra time taking care of that stuff either during the project or after call stuff, after project service calls. You want to make sure that you add some real tight language in your contract about what's going to be done, what's not going to be done. If there's any after project service calls, are there going to be any service charges for that? And make sure you add some stuff into your bill. Now, you're not going to list that on the bill as a PIA factor, but you're going to make sure you add that in there somewhere. And once you come to your project total, you can just add 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever you think it is, and then that's going to be the project total. And you're going to hand that to them and just say, this is what it is, and see what they say. If they go for it, great. You've got extra money in there. If they end up being fantastic, then you've got a few extra bucks in your pocket. If they end up being a PIA, as you think they might be, then you've got yourself covered with some extra money built into that contract so you don't go broke doing this for them. So again, keep in mind, you're under no obligation to work for anybody. If somebody calls you and you think they're going to be tough and you really don't want to work for them, that's great. You don't have to. Just let them know, I'm not the right contractor for you. Good luck. I hope everything works out well for you, and move on and go to the customers you want to work with. You have every right to say no, and it's your business. You make the choice. All right, so that's it in today's edition of Contractor Level Up TV. I will see you on the next edition.